The year 2026 does not bring a gentle evolution, but a brutal revolution that will burn your old world to ash, only to forge your strongest version through a series of harsh trials. Silence. Can you hear it? Right now, there is a strange, almost tangible silence around us. You might feel like you're standing in a train station waiting room where time has stopped. The trains aren't running. The departure board is blank, and you feel a strange, sticky stagnation. Many of you are asking, is this it? Is this the promised shift? Why isn't anything moving? Why do I feel like I'm stuck in limbo? This feeling of stagnation is the first part of our story. It is the conflict between your inner desire for change and an external reality that seems frozen. 2025 was a year of heavy emotional plowing. It was a year that forced us to dig through the basements of our own souls, heal old wounds, and integrate shadows. It was work with water and earth, slow, muddy, exhausting. And that is why there is silence now. But make no mistake, this is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence before the explosion. It is the moment the sea retreats miles from the shore before the tsunami hits. The universe isn't holding you in stagnation to torment you. It is holding you in an incubator, in a sort of energy capsule. Because what comes in January 2026 will not just require your attention. It will require your entire being. So, welcome to the beginning of a year that will not be a year of evolution, but of revolution. And why are the rules of the game suddenly changing? To understand the brutality and beauty of what is coming, we must look at the overall context. The cosmic architecture is changing radically. We are leaving the heavy vibrations of past years and entering the era of air and fire. Imagine 2025 as laying the foundation of a house. It's boring, dirty work that remains unseen. But 2026? That's the moment the engines ignite. The cosmos has prepared a script for us that has no parallel in modern history. This isn't about random planetary movements. It is a precisely planned dramaturgy, where every act, every conjunction, every eclipse functions as a cog in a gigantic time machine. It will no longer be about healing old wounds. It will no longer be about wallowing in the past. The energy of 2026 is fast, dynamic, ruthless, and electric. It is energy that doesn't ask if you are ready. It simply takes you with it. Originally, it seemed only 5 impact trials awaited us, but upon closer inspection, we see the script is even richer. The universe has included a safety net for this operation. Let's walk through this story now. Act 1. Prison Break, January 27th, 2026. Or the conflict of inertia versus explosive force. January starts inconspicuously, like water slowly heating in a pot. The universe leads us through a funnel to a single point. And then on January 27th, the lid on the pot blows off. At 3 degrees Aquarius, a conjunction of Pluto and Mars occurs. Stop and feel that symbolism. Mars is the god of war, action, and dynamics. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and nuclear energy. And Aquarius? That is the sign of freedom, revolution, and the future. When these two meet, there is no compromise. There is an explosion. If you still didn't know which way to go in January, this day will decide for you. It is a Tabula Rasa moment, a clean slate. The universe takes the gloves off here. This conjunction acts like a cosmic cutting torch, severing the chains that bound you to the past. It's as if you've been locked in a dark cell for years. You got used to the dim light, the cramped space, and suddenly, on January 27th, someone doesn't unlock the door with a key, but blows the whole wall open with dynamite. Blinding light, new space, shock, a breath of freedom so strong it makes your head spin. This day is the starting gun. It is the moment a new timeline forms, one you felt in 2025 but couldn't touch. Now it is here. The shot is fired, and we launch. If you thought your life was stagnating, after this date you will feel like you are strapped to a rocket. Act 2, Burning Bridges, February 17th, 2026. Or Safety versus Inevitability. Barely recovering from the January shock, February arrives, and the universe doubles down. The launch itself isn't enough. We must ensure no one turns back. On February 17th, an annular solar eclipse occurs at 28 degrees Aquarius. But it's not just any eclipse. It is in a harsh square to Uranus, the planet of sudden twists and bolts from the blue. Imagine a scene from an action movie. The hero, that means you, has just jumped across a chasm onto a drawbridge. He is on the other side, gasping for breath. And at that moment, the eclipse and Uranus arrive and set the bridge behind you on fire. And you just watch as the way back burns irrevocably. You watch as old certainties, old relationships, old jobs, and old ways of thinking collapse into the abyss. The universe has pressed the Great Reset button. The cosmos is deleting old programs here with ruthless efficiency. 28 degrees Aquarius is a critical point. It is the final phase of purging. Here the wheat is separated from the chaff. Everything that isn't authentic, everything you did only out of habit or fear, will be mercilessly removed. Is it scary? Yes. And is it necessary? Absolutely. Because you cannot enter what comes 3 days later carrying old baggage. Act 3, Birth of the New Human, February 20th, 2026. Or The Void versus the Primal Spark. 3 days after the fall of the old world, a gate opens, and February 20th, 0 degrees Aries. In astrology, there is no stronger, rawer, or more primal point. It is the cosmic rift. It is the point of the beginning of all beginnings. While January was about explosion and mid-February about the destruction of the old, February 20th is about birth. Here, a generational conjunction of Saturn and Neptune touches this magical point. This isn't just about your personal life. This is a collective reset. A gate opens for the entire next decade.
Imagine a newborn taking its first breath. That cry, that life force, that absolute purity. That is the energy of the newborn Aries.
At this point in the story, you are naked, vulnerable, but incredibly powerful. You have a clean slate. The past does not exist. The future is unwritten. It is the moment the new human emerges from the ashes of the old world. Intermission: The Cosmic Umbrella, January through June 2026. The Secret Weapon, Jupiter in Cancer. Here we must pause our story for a moment, because if 2026 looked only like a series of destructions and explosions, our knees would likely buckle. But the universe is not a sadist. For this demanding operation, it gives us the best anesthetic, often unspoken of in dramatic predictions. While Saturn and Pluto rage outside, tearing down old structures of states and corporations, Jupiter in Cancer shines quietly in the sky. It is exalted here, at its strongest and kindest. It acts as a cosmic mother. What does this mean for you? That in the first half of the year, despite all the chaos outside, you will receive immense support in your private life. Your families, your homes, your closest communities, and your inner world. This will be your bunker. It is a protective cushion. The universe says, go fight for your future, tear down old walls, but remember, you have somewhere to return to in the evening. You have a place to recharge. Do not overlook this influence. It is your safe haven in the middle of the storm. Act 4, Entering the Matrix, April 26, 2026. Or Matter versus Mind. Many expect the acceleration to come in the summer, but they are mistaken. The big change in the rules of the game arrives in the spring. On April 26th, Uranus enters Gemini. Here, preparation ends and the era of air begins. Uranus in Gemini is like plugging humanity into a new neural network. It is a mental revolution. If you have been solving things with force, using earth and fire, until now, from the end of April, you must solve them with your head, using air. The reign of information, artificial intelligence, and telepathic speed of communication begins. July will be the acceleration, but the starter motor turns in April. Be ready. Whoever doesn't speed up their thinking in the spring will be dizzy by summer. Act 5, Hyperspeed, July 3rd, 2026. Or the human mind versus cosmic velocity. We are past spring and entering a new era. The child has grown and is learning to run. But in 2026, we don't run. In 2026, we fly at supersonic speeds. Summer arrives, and with it, July 3rd. Mars meets Uranus in Gemini and forms a trine to Pluto. Everything takes place in air signs. If the beginning of the year was about physical and life changes, summer 2026 is about a mental revolution. We are entering the high-speed phase. Your mind will run at revs you never dreamed of. It is a time of radical change in your mental settings. The old way of thinking is like the internet 30 years ago, and in the age of fiber optics, that just doesn't work anymore. Air and fire. Thoughts, visions, technologies, communication. Everything accelerates. A 180-degree turn occurs in your perception of reality. This is the visionary phase. Ideas don't come to you gradually. They download into you like gigantic data packets directly from the universe. The problem here lies in adaptation. Can you keep up the pace? Can you throw away the logic of the old world and accept this new, non-linear quantum intelligence? Act 6, The Coronation of the Heart, August 12th, 2026. Or Truth versus Mask. Before the universe lets us into the finale, one absolutely crucial moment awaits us in the summer. On August 12th, a total solar eclipse occurs in Leo. This eclipse is the moment of coronation. It is the moment when the theme of the heart, courage, and truth opens up. The universe won't ask you here how fast you are, that was July, but how real you are. Do you have the courage to live your story, or someone else's? August is the month when we must find our royal self, coming from the heart, not the ego. It is the dress rehearsal for the finale. Act 7, The King's Test, November 16th, 2026. Or the conflict of ego and soul. The story nears its climax. You have gone through the explosion, loss, rebirth, Jupiter's protection, acceleration, and the August coronation. You are strong. You are new, you are fast, but are you wise? November 2026 brings the final test. On November 16th, a triple conjunction forms in the sky in the sign of Leo, involving the lunar nodes, in a T-square to the Sun in Scorpio. Leo is the king. Leo is ego, creativity, the self. But the presence of Pluto in the South Node tells us, watch out. This is the ego test. It is the moment the universe asks you, this new power you gained this year, will you use it for yourself, for your ego, for applause and fame, or will you use it for a higher purpose? Scorpio energy brings the principle of all or nothing. It is a fateful crossroads. At this point, your pride must die. You must shatter old patterns of self-importance. It is a transformation from an immature child seeking attention to a mature personality that shines because it cannot do otherwise. Not to be seen, but to light the way for others. Is it painful? For the ego, yes. But for the soul, it is liberation. Maybe your head is spinning from the intensity. I understand. This process will be different for each of us, and at that speed, it can be hard to keep your direction. But you don't have to be alone in this. And who will you be at the end of 2026? When you look back from December 2026 at these days, you won't recognize yourself. The person reading this text right now, the one feeling the uncertainty and stagnation, that person will no longer exist. 2026 is not just another year on the calendar. It is a portal year. It is a year that will take us through a narrow threshold of transformation. It will take everything from you that was false in February. It will give you the protective embrace of home when things are at their worst, during the first half of the year. It will reprogram your brain for a new era in April and July. It will open your heart in truth in August. And it will teach you humility and true royal power in November. You might have fears right now. That is okay. But look at the plan. Look at the precision with which the cosmos is building this path. It is not chaos. It is the hero's journey. And you have the lead role in that story. So if you feel silence now, enjoy it. Rest. Gather your strength. Because on January 27th, the gates open, and then there will be no turning back. I ask one last time, are you ready for the ride of your life? Let me know down in the comments, type, I accept if you are going into this year full throttle with me.